Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'd like to share with you what I've done so far in my Hobonichi cousin, as well as a plan with me for January 2nd. So on the first page where it says turning the page to a new year, I decided to put my New Year's resolutions. So I tried to break it up into 4 different categories. So we'll just go through one by one and just talk about each a little bit, because I think it's important to kind of share your resolutions with others and make you more accountable in some type of way. So for lifestyle resolutions, I have 4 here. The first one is to live more minimally. So I have been following the minimalism lifestyle online, I would say, for a little while now, and as impossible as it seems that I would ever be an extreme minimalist, I would like to take certain parts of that lifestyle and incorporate it into my own life. So I guess I just want to be able to use more of what I already have, or get rid of the things that no longer serve a purpose or make me happy in life. So I would rather have less things that are quality things and things that I absolutely love than to be surrounded by junk, which is, I think, what happens when we just get caught up in all the consumerism that our culture kind of promotes. So this is just a quick example. I had purchased a pair of jeggings from Forever 21. I probably wore them 2 or 3 times, and they already had a hole in the seam. So I had to toss them because it was such a stretchy material that it wasn't even able to be really mended, especially with my sewing skills. So I had to get rid of them, and I could have just saved that money and invested in a much nicer pair of pants instead. So I'm definitely going to try to stay away from fast fashion and things like that and just build a wardrobe that I really do love. And I want to take that and use that in every other aspect of my life as well. So I'm slowly getting rid of the things that I realize I've just been holding on to for no reason and replacing them with things that I actually really love and will use for years to come. So sorry for rambling, but that one is on the top of my list this year for a reason, because I think it's something that really resonates with me, and just being surrounded by clutter is very anxiety provoking, which I do suffer from. So I figured this is a good way for me to help combat that this year. I'd also like to reduce, reuse, recycle. So I definitely want to recycle better, be more strict about that, and then also just reduce the type of waste that I, am making in the world. So I would really like to reuse water bottles. I have some glass water bottles that I would like to use instead of the plastic water bottles, so I'm definitely going to try to push that this year. And just small changes like that, I think, make a big difference. Taking your own shopping bags to the store, like the reusable ones. I think that really, when you think about how many just shopping bags we use in a year, it's kind of crazy. So I definitely want to be more conscious about that. Then I also want to help those in need. I'm not sure whether I am aiming this at people or animals. It's most likely going to be animals in some way. I am a psychology graduate, so obviously I try to help people just in my daily life if I think they need someone to talk to or just to give advice, but not like I really try to give advice. I just want to be there to support people emotionally. But I think this year I really want to get more involved with animals. As a cat mom of a little black cat who was abused by someone in the past, I have a very soft spot for animals, and for animals that are abused and tortured and all of those types of things. And ultimately, that was the reason that I decided to go vegetarian over a year ago. So I really just want to help animals in any way that I can, because that is what I'm passionate about in life, and that's pretty much what I live for. So yes. And then the last one is just save more money. I think we all probably feel this way each year, so I don't think I really have to explain too much. As far as my health goes, I would like to get more into yoga and meditation. I tried yoga for one of the first times last year, and it was a lot harder than I thought that it would be. I was sweating afterwards, and I was like, it doesn't look that difficult from the outside, because I think we're used to those high intensity workouts, but I'm just telling you, it was exhausting. And I know that it's so good for your body. You sweat out all the toxins. It's great. So I definitely want to use that more. And I have a yoga mat that I haven't really been using, so I would definitely like to use that more. And then I also want to try to meditate and just refocus and calm myself down, because I am a very anxious person, so I can get very like worked up very quickly. But with meditation, you can kind of just forget about everything else and just let go. In university, one of my classes that I took was a psychology of consciousness, and we learned to do something called mindfulness meditation. So we took this rock, this is going to sound probably really weird, and you were to block out every other thing in your life, noises, thoughts, anything that was not the rock. And you were just supposed to focus on the rock. And it was just the practice of literally ignoring everything else around you and just focusing on this rock. It was essentially nothingness. And your body would relax, your mind would relax, and you would come out of this meditation feeling incredible. Your body felt great, your mind was clear. It was just really incredible. So I would definitely like to get back to that, because that is one of the things that really stood out to me in my undergraduate career. So I definitely want to do more of that this year. Then I also want to get back into dancing. When I was young, I danced for many, many years, and I really loved it. And I think that part of that has always stuck with me, but I don't think that I'm like good at dancing, or if it was something I would do like on a team or professionally or anything like that. But I just like to move, and I love music. So I really think that's going to be a good way for me to get my type of workout in, because I hate going to the gym. Like, I hate it so much, and I psych myself up, and I tell myself I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out, and then it lasts for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, I really hate this, and then I just stop going. So I think it's important to find some kind of exercise or something just to get your body moving that you really enjoy to do. Don't force yourself to do what everybody else is doing or what everybody else is telling you to do. Just find something that works for you, and I think that's really the best way to stick with something, is just to enjoy it. And then lastly, I would like to eat clean. I am a huge junk food eater. I have the biggest sweet tooth ever. I love chocolate more than anything in this world. So I definitely want to eat a little bit better this year. I am a vegetarian, so that luckily does cut out a good bit of like unnecessary like hormones and toxins and things like that. But I'd also like to eat more vegan meals, because I am very aware that my diet is heavily based in dairy foods, and it's not good for your weight, it's not good for your skin. I mean, it's just really not good for you, and I just think I would like to rely more heavily on like fruits and grains and things like that come from the earth, rather than something that is overly processed and things like that. I don't necessarily think that by the end of this year I will be vegan, but I would just definitely like to make strides toward that, because I think that it's something that is good for me overall. Then for work and study, I have 4 other resolutions. So the first one is to continue learning Japanese. I've probably mentioned this a couple times on this channel, but I did study abroad in Tokyo, and during that time I really just absorbed so much information. Just being immersed in the culture and the language was the most helpful thing for me to quickly pick up on a language that I could not speak even a sentence of before I arrived. So since then, obviously my Japanese has gotten worse, and I would really like to get back to studying that. So I would definitely like to dedicate one day, I don't know if like once a week, every other week, to an online tutoring. They do like Skype tutoring with native Japanese speakers, so I definitely want to do that. Obviously I'll have to brush up on my own first before I do that, so I would like to get back into my Genki books and just do some like vocabulary and some grammar and things like that, and just really get the ball rolling again, because I don't want to waste all that time that I spent in class just to forget everything. And one of my goals is to one day live in Japan, so I think that this is pretty important for my future. So I definitely want to do that, and it's something I'm passionate about, so I am definitely looking forward to it. I would also like to strive to post on YouTube weekly at the least. I really don't think that that's asking too much of myself to consistently post. I will most likely get myself onto a schedule. So I'll pick probably a time and a day, and I'll just post consistently. But then also if there's extra videos, I can just throw them in wherever. But I would definitely like to stay consistent with this channel and really see what I can do. I've gotten some new equipment, as you may be able to tell from the quality of this video. So I got a new camera for Christmas, a tripod, and even a ring light. Not a ring light, a box light? I don't know what it is. It's like a circle, but it's not just those ring ones. I don't know camera terminology whatsoever, but hopefully you will be able to tell in the quality of this video and the upcoming videos that everything is a little bit better. So I have the equipment now, there's no excuse. I'd also like to continue working on my Etsy shop. When I started on Etsy, it was probably 2 years ago, almost. Yeah, in the spring it'll be about 2 years. So I was into the Erin Condren planners at the time, and I got really into it. I was really passionate about it, and then I noticed with time that I really wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I think that really comes from the fact that I wasn't passionate about those planners anymore. And now that I found a home with Hobonichi, I really want to focus on making stickers for this book, things that I can use and things that people in the community will enjoy and maybe even get ideas from. And I think if I can use it for something that I am so passionate about, I will be so excited to make new designs again. So I'm really going to revamp my whole shop this year and focus more on the Hobonichi instead, just because I think if I'm passionate about it, it will be more successful. And even if it's not more successful, I will be happier in the long run. So I think that that's really important to do something that you love. And then lastly, I would like to get a full-time job. I just graduated from university, so that's pretty much what you do once you graduate. So I've been applying to a couple of jobs, so we'll see if I hear anything back. But I'm still just kind of looking around. I will most likely go back to work in a pharmacy, but if there is some way to use my psychology degree, I would love to do that as well. So I'm gonna work really hard and try to get a job that I enjoy and that allows me to support myself and save up for my future. And then for fun, this is very important, I think, to have some fun mixed in with all of these other things. So I want to journal regularly. Obviously, I love my Hobonichi and I want to stick with it. And I know that this year I aimed high. I do have 4 planners, but there's something about just sitting down with your planners and really like planning ahead for the week. Just taking an hour, a couple of hours just to yourself to focus and just let your creative side out. That is so therapeutic. I always feel like I am my happiest and even my most creative after I have done some planning or anything like that. So it's just take some time for yourself and do the things that you love. And this happens to be one of the hobbies that I really enjoy doing. So why not, commit to doing it regularly, because I know that it's something that will make me happy at the end of the day. And it is so cool to look back at your planner after the whole year and see all the things that you've done and the ways that you decorated your pages and the things that you've created. And it's just the coolest thing ever. So if you are just kind of struggling to think if you can commit to a whole year, don't stress yourself out about making each page perfect. Just write down what you think is important or decorate the way you want to, because I promise you, when you look back, even if you just filled some pages very minimally, you're going to be so happy that you did it, because the saddest pages in my planner are the ones that I did not touch. So just know that you can do it, and do it however you want. It doesn't have to be to anybody else's standard. Just make what you love, and if there are some days when you can't, just write a little bit and come back to it when you feel a little bit more creative or you're in a better mood. I don't think there are any rules to this or saying that you have to fill the entire page, and that's something I need to be more forgiving with. I think I am very hard on myself and I want to fill the entire page, even though sometimes in the cousin that's not totally possible because it's a pretty large page. So just make your own style and go with the flow, because this is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a chore. I'd also like to travel more this year. I really have not traveled very much in my life. So then Japan was obviously my farthest destination, and that was something I did all by myself, and I cannot tell you how rewarding and amazing that experience was. And everybody was like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid? And to be honest, I was, but I have no regrets. And if I could do it over again, I would make the same choice every single time. And I just think getting outside of your comfort zone and seeing something else, meeting new people, seeing new cultures is so fulfilling. And it has changed who I am today. Because of that trip, I am different. And I just think it's incredible when you really get outside of your own worldview and you see something totally different. So, and even if you can't, fly to a different country or anything like that, just take a trip. Just do something new. Try something that you haven't done before. I really think that it's important to see what else is out there outside of your little bubble, because it opens your eyes to so many other things. So definitely want to travel more, even if that is just in the United States this year. But definitely in the future, there's plenty of places that I would like to travel to. Oh, do you see my little guy? He's hanging out. And then the last one for this year so far is just to take up a new hobby. Obviously, I don't know what that is yet, but I hopefully will figure it out soon. I'm sure there are 1,000 things out there that I have not tried yet, so I think to have a hobby would be really nice. And yeah, so that one's kind of vague just because I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for yet, but I think that with these, I think my year is going to be pretty great. And I just don't like to create just one resolution, because then if you fail that, it just doesn't feel very nice. So I feel like with all of these, I'm sure to accomplish at least a couple, then you can look back and feel pretty good about it. So yeah, so that is the first page. Then here is January 1st. So I didn't put anything over on this page. I just can't decide what I want to put here yet. So I'm just going to take my time and not force it. But over here, let's see. Okay, so I have a Hello 2017. And it says, I'm looking forward to 2017 very much. This will be the best year yet. Because let's be honest, I don't think any year could be any worse than 2016. Right? I hope so. And then I have Ganbatte, which means work hard. And over here I just kind of have what happened. I slept in really late that day to almost like noon. So then I put good morning. I put this little Real Akuma flake up there. Then I played Pokemon Go for an hour. And then down here we had family dinner. It was Italian dinner for Sunday, which I really miss. After moving away from home, that was always my favorite, to have like pasta and roast potatoes. And just thinking about it makes me hungry. So we did that, and then I also watched Tim Burton's Corpse Bride after that, which I had never seen before, and I really enjoyed it. So that was really interesting. Oh, it looks like I have like a little plastic. Okay. And then at the bottom, I kind of roughly tried to translate this. It's definitely not spot on, but that's fine. So from now on, the things I want to write down will increase. A person's normal year, well, it's quite a thing. And I think I would reword that as it's something. It's quite, I don't know. It's quite something. I think that's what I would write next time. But, and this is from Shigesato Itoi in Today's Darling. So I just figured that might be a kind of fun thing. If the quotes down there are anything interesting, I may end up trying to translate them at the bottom. So yeah, I figured that we would just go ahead and I would just share with you what I'm gonna kind of do for today's, or for January 2nd's daily page. So let's go ahead and just get started. So I've kind of already started to sketch, and then I thought, why wouldn't I share this? So let's go ahead and get started.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you. the sky.